What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Summer Hikaru Died, this time with episode 5, I think. Yeah, episode 5. Looking forward to this one. Pretty chill episode last week, actually. We had the whole kind of festival where Hikaru was kind of spotted from the barrier with denied entry. I forget the name, so apologies, but the blonde head guy kind of seeing that and seeing how it does kind of affect his body using spells and such, I thought was really interesting. I really like that whole kind of sharing of lore. I think from what I gathered as well, they've all had some kind of experience with Nonuki-sama, is it? The mountain ghost spirit god deity thing. Funny enough, I think it might have been another anime, it might have been a game I'm playing at the minute, but I did hear that mountain, I think it was Natsu show actually, mountain spirits especially, or like mountain gods, that they are super powerful spirits. But I'm wording this horribly. But most of the time the kind of yokai and such that do live in the mountains go on to be gods, and are some of the most powerful kind of spirits and such out there. So would make sense as to like what the hell's going on right now. I think it is very much maybe related to Japanese folklore and such. A lot of myths and such like this are, so there's probably a bunch I could look up online about this and find out, but I won't just yet, just to save myself from being spoiled. But interesting scene to end off as well, us actually figuring out how Hikaru died from the fucking tree that looked like a woman, which was nuts. What a thing to die seeing. And yeah, I got that all a bit more fleshed out for us, which I thought was cool. But yeah, this intro's got horribly. Let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Here we go. The Japanese hair horror. Don't know about you guys. I can't remember what story it was, but I remember reading a children's book about there being creatures that live in the drains, and I always used to be quite scared to look in the kind of the sink, to look down there, because there would be like monsters in there. Bloody Japanese in their hair horror, bro. Something you rarely see anywhere. But you know what? As with what I just said about the whole sinks, there is some. I wouldn't say it's horrific per se, but there is something a little bit kind of, when you look in there and see like a bunch of tangled up, clogged up hair. There is something a bit kind of freakish about it. A bit freaky, maybe a bit horrific. Don't know. But yeah, it was like that. The toilet was one as well. Like, don't look in the toilet because the monster will come out. I speak about this a lot, but I used to have a Darth Maul bag. I never watched Star Wars then. I used to have a Darth Maul bag that I had in my closet that I never went in my closet because that bag was in there, and it would always be like staring at me. I think that's where a lot of my love of horror comes from as an adult. 先も一瞬もう一瞬の隙も全て全部ただで行こう。まぶたで照らして。So these shots as well, I kind of look at more when I watch the opening. These freaky shots at the ending very much contrast the earlier shots we see of those characters, don't they? I love the blonde guy's smile in that ending shot. That was a horrible attempt at it, but I love it with his sticking his tongue out. I love that shot for some reason. So playful. really care what kind of knife you cut your lettuce with, does it? Fire dragon. Well, that's a hell of a apron he's wearing. One of the most powerful creatures in existence, a dragon. And maybe that goes with what I said earlier about yokai and spirits and such, of mountains usually being gods and the most powerful of their kind. I'm not sure exactly why that is, why mountains are such a specific place for the strongest to be, but it kind of just makes sense. When I think of dragons, I also think of mountains as well, a little bit, I guess. Please don't show us that marinated chicken again. That might have been one of the most horrific shots we've seen of this show. Your insides. They done it. I don't know how you'd ever be able to eat chicken again after that. Oh, I'm eating his insides. So he was looking at him quite intently there. I kind of like these scenes though. It does feel like this is him like exploring himself a bit more, isn't it? Like actually kind of giving in to his desires, even though the desires with Hikaru might be wrong because he's a demon yokai thing or whatever. I feel like this is also like it's good because he gets to experiment. Like there's good and bad to this. From the woman's perspective, we saw kind of eradicating one of the demon things at the end of the last episode. She obviously just sees this as pure bad. But I think there is some merit to this. Yeah, that was a trip. Fucking intense, wasn't it? Why do people do things? That what we're calling it? A wig ghost. Your hair is scary because it is a very powerful thing. Like threads of hair are extremely resistant. You guys know my theory about this hamster now, don't you? This hamster ain't a hamster. If it is a hamster, I'd be remarkably surprised. It's a spirit sword. Yeah. You never heard of these things, old man? It looks very... Wow, that's the thing. How much use has he gotten out of that thing if it's that worn down? Maybe that's just time at play, but... You know what? That might be the most unrealistic thing we've seen in this show so far. Someone winning one of these. Poor girl. Poor girl is it, bro? So I guess this might be the start of those yokai spirit things being attracted to Shiki's home. That was aggressive. The way it shoot itself like that, it was very aggressive, wasn't it? It didn't want to hide. It wanted to be seen. It wanted to leave an impression. Yeah, get Hikaru to eat it. He's almost like a cat. I mean, we saw him with a cat at the start of last episode, which was really funny. I love that scene. But yeah, he's almost like a cat. Like, I think there was something in the UK where we deployed like thousands of cats to solve a rat issue or something. He's kind of like that. And it worked, I think. For some reason. Because you're nice. Oh, she laughed at him. Hopefully that was a nice laugh. And he couldn't even look at her when he handed it to her. Okay, you fucking weak ghost. Interesting. Weak ghost. Just looking. What are we gonna be? Oh shit, what the hell? What the hell? The fuck? He was in a bath drowning? Oh my god. What the hell happened? Fuck. A question I do have is can this version of Hikaru die? I kind of assume not. So right now, is this... I mean, we saw that same kind of star shine thing when Shiki got kind of sucked in here. So I'm kind of questioning when he says it's inside me now. He talking about like this shot right here specifically. This one. This is that same kind of thing as what we had with Hikaru earlier. Is he saying that about Hikaru? Like him and Hikaru are now kind of becoming one again? as we saw a little glimpse of earlier this episode, or is this the wig ghost actually entering him? Maybe it's both. I'll just replay it from here. How the hell did like this happen? Like how is there a whole bath and Hikaru laying it without Shiki even hearing anything? So we see the hair like coming from there, but he has the same feeling he had earlier. So interesting. To be honest with you guys, like I can't lie, like I've never found hair horror that scary. It's quite funny sometimes. I've only ever watched it when I'm an adult, to be fair, so maybe that's an impact on it. But I never really find hair scary per se. Like I've seen quite a bit of it in Junji Ito's works. It looks really cool, but I wouldn't say it's scary. Then again, I no need to boast here or anything, but I don't really get scared too much. I've seen so many horror movies, so on. Like it's a really powerful thing for me when a movie actually does scare me and make me tense. And in anime, that is kind of severely lacking, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if it's just a medium or what, but I've never really seen too many great horror anime. I mean, if they are great, they're great for other reasons than being scary. Crowley. Victor Crowley. So what? Yeah, this happens, especially when you're younger. You get little fights with your mates like this. I've never been in like a full proper fight. The closest I've been to probably full proper fights is probably with my friends. Like we were just like wrestling and getting into arguments like this. Funny enough, but I just found this quite interesting actually because it's not my fault. Like let's relate this to what we know of Shiki's kind of thoughts. I might as well just rewind the whole way back. Yeah, let's kind of rewind to the thoughts of Shiki had towards Hikaru's death and him kind of blaming himself. Maybe because this happened in the past and he kind of relinquished responsibility. He feels even more inclined to be responsible for Hikaru's death now. Something he cared so precious for back then. Obviously, they had such a emotional reaction and moment here towards it that kind of carried forward into Shiki's thoughts of Hikaru's death in the current. This is like it's really cute though. Say a fight like this, grabbing each other like that. Like I said, really reminds me of being younger. And as guys, I think there's like you actually become better friends after something like this. Much as you might think not, you wouldn't. Oh shit! What the hell? Oh, is it like possessing him? It's a big bath, isn't it? So it was like a mix of Hikaru and the hair wig ghost. They're both like inside him. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, do you reckon this is like a turning point of sorts? Because Hikaru was inside him, right? What I want to know is how the hell did Hikaru end up like that, by the way? How did he end up in this bath like that? Like when we came in. But this wig ghost's a bit of a nasty little thing, isn't it? A bit more trouble than I expected it to be. That's also very interesting, isn't it? Maybe because it's one of those things where your mind is so trapped. I might be talking nonsense here, but when your mind is so entrained on that kind of, it's almost like when you hear rumors about yourself, and sometimes you like subconsciously you make those rumors true just because you heard them, and you like, you know what, yeah, I will be that way. I will be the bad person you said I was. It's a little bit like that, but in this instance, it's like, oh, I did. It's my fault he died. It's my fault he's out here. That was almost like the physical manifestation of his thoughts. Well, he was controlled by that weak ghost, yes, but again, maybe it was also again a subconscious action of him being in that kind of state and just yeah, physically kind of manifesting his thoughts towards Hikaru's death, actualizing it. Like I said, it might be nonsense, but I feel like there is definitely some kind of link between that and the scenes we did just see, isn't there? And I think that'll like seeing the images of that in Shiki's memory now would be a bit tough for him. Just that shot of him strangling. What's wrong with that? Go meet old Cletus. I say that because I did used to kind of collect frogs, or try to, when I was a kid. I mentioned plenty of times on my channel about the I had a wishing well, but there wasn't a hole. It was just a wishing well kind of wooden thing, and I used to keep spiders, worms, all sorts of bugs in there. Sometimes I'd find some frogs under the patio. I was one of those kids. I've also never had growing pains. I did start smoking quite early on, and I think that did stunt my growth a little bit. So maybe that's why, but yeah. I don't think so. I think that might be a bit of an analogy as well. I could just be talking nonsense here, but in terms of like the attraction of these evil beings, these spirits, weak ghosts, and so on, they become more attracted. The weirder and more involved these two become together. I feel like that's also maybe again a kind of metaphor or something for how people think of gay people, and that attracts more kind of attention and negative thoughts towards them, especially in the past. There's people are being a lot more accepting today, of course, but yeah, I feel like there's some kind of link to that kind of perception as well, and I think that's actually quite interesting. Again, I can't fully explain it, but I think there is like a link between that, isn't there? Let me know if you guys can help and explain that a bit better. Again, I've never been truly too good at kind of fully delving into things like that. Yeah, really good episode today. Really good episode. I like this one a lot. Again, I feel like every episode has been quite character focused, and one of the biggest things for me in any show is to be character focused and driven. Especially in horror. I always speak about him, but Mike Flanagan is a kind of he's fantastic at character writing, in my opinion. Always love anything he puts out. Sayonara. Sayonara. So we have got an end scene, I believe. Oh, it might just be the Netflix credits, actually. Oh, they always do me over with that. No, we have got an end scene, okay. It's gonna eat the owl, isn't it? It's gonna eat that fucking owl. I called it. That owl is dead. I love owls as well. I've got a photo of me. I don't know if I've got it on my phone, but I'll show you guys in a minute if I have. I've got a photo of me with an owl as a kid. I even like the words they use, like impurities. That does sound very like what people use to say about gay people and their prejudices as well, doesn't it? Do you? Well, it's probably the best news you've got. Maybe it's best. Bro singing his anime opening. Okay, interesting end. I do kind of want to watch this again, so apologies. So you can just skip forward if you don't want to watch me watch this again. That owl, that owl, again. I mean, it didn't. I assumed the gerbil hamster thing would eat this owl because and I think guinea pigs and such are natural prey for owls, right? Rodents like that, very natural prey. This owl kind of gave the look of like, I don't want to fuck with you. Like their eyesight is incredible. And he's seen his prey, and he's not gone for it. And something says to me, if he went for it, this owl would be dead. Maybe I'm just hugely conspiracizing about this hamster too much, but that's what I feel. You little bastard. So he thinks it's still down there. Like, what is still down there? We saw a flash of something, but I assumed like, or maybe there is parts to this kind of entity that Hikaru is combined with now. Maybe that wasn't all of it. Maybe that wasn't 100% of this being, to be fair. I kind of assumed it was this whole time, but maybe that is not the case. But a small portion of it. I'm never going to be able to stop on that shot right there, am I? No, I had it. I always do that. Fuck's sake. I've done it again. Alright, we saw it for a second there. It was just a pair of legs and some horrible face. It's like two legs the opposite way, I think, and then yeah, horrible face. We saw that. So there's something there. And when he says this little guy, is he referring to that bell? Interesting. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. As I said, another really good episode today. Love this. Again, it was very character focused. As usual for this show, we had a little bit of horror with the hair. Like I said, I'm really not like. Again, I don't want to big myself up or anything, but I wouldn't even call it big myself up. It's almost a bit of a shame. But I've seen so many horror movies. I've seen so much that I've seen so many real life atrocities as well. Not in person, but like banned videos and like websites with like people actually getting killed and such. And I think that's much more horrific than any horror movie I've ever seen. So I'm almost like immune to the scares a little bit. I can still understand like really good tension. I can feel it, and I can get scared sometimes. Don't get me wrong, but it does take quite a bit for me. And I feel like the form of anime, everything I've seen, like I'd say like Higarashi's probably one of my favorite, if not maybe my favorite horror anime. But I wouldn't say that is for the horrific reasons. Like the horror I feel from that is because of like this. I don't want to spoil too much, but the scenario that the characters are in, rather than the actual kind of atrocities that are happening. I can enjoy like a Terrifier, for example. I don't find it scary, and I don't think a lot of people do, but I can kind of enjoy a lot of gore and stuff like that. And I do like my tension and stuff as well. But as I was kind of on the point of, there's never been an anime that's actually kind of scared me. I've seen the first episode of Uzumaki was incredible, but I've seen a couple anime that are based on Junji Ito's works, and there's been a good few episodes here and there of those, but the adaptions have been the issue with that. Summertime Render had a really good, especially first 12 or so episodes, and that built some really awesome tension and mystery. But that is why I loved it, because of the tension and mystery going on rather than the actual horror factor. Although it did have some good creepy moments that I can appreciate, but again, don't affect me, as maybe they'd affect another person. In this instance, like I said, I'm not like awfully horrified. Like, oh shit, the hair is coming. I won't have a reaction like that. So please don't expect anything like that. It's just a kind of warning for you guys in the future. As I said, I'm definitely immune to jump scares. Like you cannot jump scare me in a movie. Because most of the time I see it coming, but they've got smarter with horror movies where they kind of there was a time where there'd be a jump scare and you see it coming, and then there was a time where there'd be a jump scare and they knew you'd see it coming, so they don't play a jump scare, then they play a jump scare right after. And now we're in a time of they knew that as well, so it's always like a constant kind of game of cat and mouse. So yeah, very meta when it comes to that. But like I said, I wasn't awfully scared today. I think, again, the thing that stands out to me most is that seeing much more of the relationship between Shiki and Hikaru. I think that's always the biggest draw in the show for me. Don't get me wrong, I love the mystery vibes and such, but the actual way the characters are written and the interesting kind of intricacies in them, I think is just really, really well done. And horror always used to get a stigma of having no story, having no good written characters. They were just a bunch of teenagers go off to summer camp and get killed. And I can enjoy movies like that as well. A lot of the Friday 13th franchise and such, but we have got to a point now where it's actually getting a lot of respect, horror, and we're getting a lot of really we're getting a lot of really good stuff coming out each year, which just didn't happen for a long time when I was younger. So absolutely love that. But yeah, loved seeing more of their relationships today and get them getting closer, them experimenting a bit more after school, and being kind of forced into this situation where Hikaru kind of entered Shiki. I think we know for a fact the wig ghost did, so I do assume from the flashback we saw that they kind of melded together a little bit there. And as I said, I feel like that's a bit of a kind of turning point now. I can't really say why per se, but it does just kind of feel that way. Yeah, awesome flashback, and yeah, lovely end to the episode as well. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. Sorry, I just went on a bit of a rant there, but I got to get some of that stuff out because yeah, it's just I do question why, because I from the very few Japanese live action horrors I've seen maybe 5 or 6. I've really enjoyed all of them, and they are quite tension filled and really scary. So why is it exactly that? Maybe it's just the style, but why is it exactly that horror anime, especially, just like it's so hard to do well and to actually be kind of scary? Again, this show is an exception. I'd say Summertime Rendering as well, Higurashi, but those are 3 shows out of. There's probably a few more as well. Another was alright. That was that was alright. But maybe it's because of me. But yeah, there's hundreds out there. Why is it that horror anime specifically is just, in my opinion, just like levels below? Again, this is the obvious exception of that, but more so for writing reasons and character reasons than the actual horror. Yeah, is what it is. Again, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode as well. And leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 6.